Christmas 2021, I told my dad, let's do something we've never done together. Let's go to West Texas and go hang out on a dude ranch. I did not fully grasp how big Texas was until we went on this trip.
We've been driving now for 8.5 hours and we're still in Texas. We left Texas this morning at 7 a.m. and we're still in the stupid state.
We drove 9.5 hours of some of the most boring roads that I've ever been on in my life. Just flat, nothing to see. We did stop to see a little hill the locals call Nipple Peak because it kind of looks like a... And my dad took a piss on the side of my truck. 2 times.
Huh? The fuck?
However, when we got there, insanity. If you told me that Texas looked like this before I went there, I would have never believed you. No cell phone service, pretty slow Wi-Fi, so it kind of forced us to like disconnect from the outside world, which I think both of us kind of needed, and just kind of spend some father-son bonding time together. We shot a lot of guns. My favorite part of the trip though, by far, the ranch is 40,000 acres, which is insanely big, and that allowed us to drive 200 miles off-road in the Raptor. Each night, we'd hang out with some really great people around a badass fire and just kind of relax. And some of the craziest night skies you've ever seen. All in all, fantastic trip. I think I really just wanted to go spend some time with my dad and do something we hadn't done before. It ended up awesome. But unfortunately for me, eventually I had to come back to reality. And that's now. So I guess let's go jump back into reality, huh? So, when I said get back to reality, unfortunately I meant that that's pretty much all I or he does all week, 7 days a week. I sit behind a computer screen and I type code. And honestly, I do love it. Like, I enjoy what I do for a living, but it gets a little monotonous, and also after being at such a badass ranch, then I do this and I'm like, what am I, I'm just looking at a screen all day, and I'd much rather be looking at mountains and elk and all kinds of wildlife. We're gonna let him continue doing this, and I'm gonna take you guys to see something a little bit more interesting than just So, I just wanted to introduce you guys to the Enzo Trap House, and it is definitely a trap house. Okay, the reason I call this place a trap house is it's a little less than like ideal. I'm gonna show you guys around, but this is the new Enzo warehouse. Don't let that sign confuse you. This place is majority owned by my old roommate, Max Tuning and Candy Extraordinaire. My business partner here is all about the visuals, so we have a 10-foot sign on the front of the building. We are in a great location because we're literally 50 feet from the Alpha Land front gate, and we're also about 100 feet away from a place that literally sells shit. The outside's bad enough, but the inside is it's not great. Watch your step. There's about a 4-foot, drop and a 3-inch gap in the concrete, and Ali has taken it upon himself to kind of clean this place up a little bit. So this is actually the best looking area so far. The carpet when we got here was disgusting. It still is. There's stains and shit everywhere. We've started naming the cockroaches at this point. I imagine, when like the IRS's Bangladesh department calls you and says you're delinquent on your taxes and they need like $4,000 in Target gift cards to get you up to date. I imagine they're making those calls out of a place like this. So if the soap doesn't work out for us, maybe we can start running it.
Oh, fuck you.
We also don't have power yet because some crazy shit with the city and the electric company and whatever else. Eventually this area will end up being, I believe, a little bit of a storefront, and since we're so close to Alpha Land, we may do like a store pickup option. We got this warehouse really cheap because it's strictly warehouse space. We don't, like, I don't need any more offices, and Ali might use this as an office, but for the most part, it was a very good deal for us because of how shitty it was, made the price really cheap. All the paint's peeling off. Under the sink, I don't really know what happened here. The sink's just kind of going away, and it's all becoming sawdust and shit, and we don't really know. Doesn't smell good in there. We're gonna close that. The bathrooms, we're gonna go use the bathroom at Alpha Land because I don't think anyone should be forced to do anything in there they don't want to do. That is, But good news for us, the warehouse is still a piece of shit. So you walk out and you're greeted with giant pallets. This is all Max's storage, and the building itself looks like it might collapse at any given moment. There's definitely some kind of like asbestos in the top there. Wires everywhere that do literally nothing. When we got here, the doors wouldn't open. We had to have a friend come pick the locks and kick the locks out. But again, we're just using it for warehouse space. And warehouse-wise, actually not too bad. So our space starts from where that bay door starts all the way to this beam over here. We just moved in the other day, so we outgrew the space that we were renting from Shali pretty quickly, so it was like we had to get our own spot. So the idea right now, which is a work in progress, obviously, and we don't have power, so we really can't set up correctly. Where this drive-in door is, I think we're gonna leave this open, potentially fix that wall, and do some kind of detailing car wash thing because we are so close to Alpha Land, as well as I now have another spot that I can work on cars. I have a bumper coming for the Raptor, I have an exhaust coming for the 992, so I'll probably use this space as my own little workshop. And then starting from here this way, we have where we are actually downfilling all the chemicals into the bottles and labeling, and we're gonna make this look good. Okay, I promise, I'll give you guys an update. It won't look this shitty, but for now, filling, bottling, we need some racks so we can start using gravity to our advantage. And then we got some more racks coming. All of this will become, we're actually gonna put all the product and packing tables here, and there's a loading dock at the back there, so we can go straight onto the UPS truck whenever we get to that scale. Also, the title of this video, not exactly clickbait. We have a couple more barrels coming. However, we didn't pay $100,000 in soap, but if we were to sell through all of it, it would be about $100,000 worth of revenue. So when I say we bought $100,000 worth of soap, I wasn't lying. We have scaled up tremendously because the last launch, about 50% of you guys were pretty stoked on it, and the other 50% were like, what the fuck does this guy know about soap?
I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
There was enough of you guys that wanted to try it out that you sold us out in pretty much the first like 3 to 4 days, which is not ideal for a company. Like, ideally our products are so good, and they are, that you would want to keep using them, and it kind of backfired that we sold out so fast because now for the last 3 months we haven't had shit to sell. So we took it upon ourselves to totally revamp the product. We added, I think like four new products. We added a rubber and trim like restorer, so like taking all your hazy black shit and making it black again. The waterless wash is by far my favorite. Quick detail, we revamped. Wheel cleaner is now activated, and we had an all-purpose cleaner that you can use at your house or your car, engine trim, tires. It's actually a really good cleaning product. And we were able to bring our prices down because we brought everything in-house. Also, in the first video when I announced this, I said that we went to China to get the labels, and I had a decent amount of you guys that were like, oh, you're a traitor, you went to China. Okay, just the label, nothing else. The chemicals, the bottle, everything else is made here in the US. The labels, I cannot find a US manufacturer to make this quality of label with the holographic and all that. We found one, but it was like 5 times more expensive. So the physical label is the only thing that comes from China. So when I say we're waiting on China or waiting on China or whatever, I'm not saying the whole product. People flip the fuck out. I had like 30 comments who were like, oh my God, you went to China, you're blah, blah. I'm like, no, just I mean, honestly, everything comes from China if you really get down to it. I'm sure the fucking camera I'm filming and your phone you're watching came from China too. So hypocritical mother. So I think we probably have enough randomness in this video now to create one vlog out of it. We started in the desert, we ended in a trap house, and I don't know how much of whatever I ingested when I was breathing in there I got in my system, but I'm feeling a little bit queasy now. So probably a good place to wrap up the video. Final thing I want to leave you guys on is, and I know I'm not the kind of guy to give advice and like motivation and all that shit. Going back to the beginning of the video, as I get older, and something I wish I would have realized when I was a little bit younger in life, is that like time is the one thing you're not getting any more of, especially with loved ones and family and friends and stuff like that. It's funny because when we're little kids, all the time your parents want to go to dinner, they want to go visit grandma or whatever, and you're, no, I got other stuff to do. I got friends to hang out with. In the high school, you got parties to go to, and there's always something when you're younger. And then when you start getting older, you're like, there's nothing I wouldn't do now to hang out and spend time with family and stuff. Like if my grandma says, hey, can you come by tomorrow? I will drop everything to go by her house. You can make millions of dollars, but it's not buying any extra time. It's the one thing you're not gonna get back. So I definitely look forward to planning more trips like that with my family and friends, and really just focusing on that aspect instead of so much like just work. I don't know where I'm going with that. Hopefully maybe some of you got something out of that. But anyways, comment down below what you want to see next on the video. I think you're either going to get a Porsche River Oaks. They opened this badass dealership, and I was going to do a full tour and show off that whole dealership and cinematics and all that. Or you're going to get a Spider review, which does possibly mean I'm looking at selling the Spider and replacing it with something a little bit more beefy. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.